Hello dear learners, I am Dr. Asya Mudassir. In the previous video, we discussed the transactional approaches for foundation courses of teacher education. In this video, let us discuss the knowledge base of teacher education. Before diving deep into the topic, let me tell you one thing. To build something great, you need more than just materials. You need a plan, the right skills, and a big picture view. Teaching is exactly the same. To be a truly great educator, it is not enough to just know your subject. You need much more than that. Let's understand it together. So today, we are looking at the four pillars of the teacher knowledge base through the eyes of the masters Lee Shulman, Zongyi Deng, Allan Luke, and Jürgen Habermas. From the viewpoint of these masters, the knowledge base of teacher education refers to the different kinds of knowledge that teachers need in order to teach effectively. Various scholars have explained this concept in different ways. Among the most influential are Shulman, Deng, Luke, and Habermas. Their perspectives help us understand what kind of knowledge teachers must possess. So let's discuss each master's viewpoint one by one. So let's discuss the first master's viewpoint, knowledge base of teacher education according to Lee Shulman. Lee Shulman introduced one of the most influential frameworks of teacher knowledge. According to him, effective teachers require multiple categories of knowledge, not just subject knowledge. Shulman's categories of teacher knowledge include the content knowledge, pedagogical content knowledge, PCK, general pedagogical knowledge, curriculum knowledge, knowledge of learners and their characteristics, knowledge of educational contexts, and knowledge of educational purposes and values. So let's discuss the content knowledge first. Content knowledge, as the name indicates, content knowledge, knowledge about the content. That means the deep understanding of the subject being taught. If a teacher is a mathematics teacher, so a mathematics teacher must understand the mathematical concepts clearly. If the teacher is a science teacher, so the teacher should know the science concepts clearly. Next is pedagogical content knowledge, PCK. It is the Shulman's most famous contribution. It is the knowledge of how to teach a specific subject effectively. Next is the general pedagogical knowledge. It is the knowledge about the teaching strategies, classroom management, and learning theories. Next is the curriculum knowledge, knowledge of the textbooks, knowledge of the syllabus and the instructional materials comes under it. Next is the knowledge of the learners and their characteristics. That means understanding the student's psychological developments, his abilities, her differences. Next is the knowledge of educational contexts. That means understanding the schools, communities, and the institutional structures. Next is the knowledge of educational purposes and values. That means understanding the aims, goals, and philosophical foundations of education. So these were taught by Lee Shulman. Now, so far as the pedagogical content knowledge is concerned, it is one of the famous contribution of Lee Shulman. So let's discuss it in another slide. So Lee Shulman emphasized that teaching is a professional activity requiring specialized knowledge, especially pedagogical content knowledge, which is also called as PCK. It's very important for NET exams. I will give you an example. Imagine a young teacher who has just started teaching in a school. On his or her first day, she or he enters the school with a mathematics textbook. She knows all the formulas and the theories of the mathematics. She feels confident. But when she begins teaching, she notices something surprising. Some students understand quickly, some look confused, and some are not even interested. That evening, the young teacher starts thinking, maybe knowing the subject alone is not enough to be a good teacher. This is exactly what educational scholars also realized. different thinkers explained what kinds of knowledge a teacher actually needs. So Schulman's idea, the teacher must know how to teach the subject. Educational scholar Schulman said that a teacher needs more than just subject knowledge. That young teacher already knew mathematics, but Schulman would say she also needs pedagogical content knowledge. This means knowing how to explain the subject in a way students understand. For example, instead of writing only 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2, that means half plus half is equal to 1 on the board, the young teacher could say, if I cut an apple into two pieces and you take one piece and your friend takes one piece, together you have a whole apple. Now students understand. So Schulman teaches us a good teacher must know both the subject and the best way to teach it. That's it. Now let's discuss the viewpoint of the another master, knowledge base according to Zongyi Deng. Deng expanded the discussion of the teacher knowledge and focused the professional and academic nature of teacher education. Deng argues that the knowledge base of teacher education includes three broad areas: subject matter knowledge, educational knowledge, and practical knowledge. Let's discuss it more in the another slide. So, through his viewpoint, Deng emphasizes that teacher education must integrate theory and practice, ensuring that teachers are both scholars and practitioners. So, let's go back to the example of that teacher. After a few months, that young teacher realizes something. What she or he realized is that some teaching methods that she learned in the books work in the classroom and some do not. Slowly, she learns through experience. So Deng tells us teaching knowledge grows when theory and classroom practice comes together. Now let's discuss the knowledge base from the perspective of another master, Allan Luke. Luke emphasized the critical and social dimension of knowledge in the teacher education. Luke's view, teachers should possess knowledge related to cultural and social context, critical literacy, and global and media awareness. So, cultural and social context means understanding how culture, language, and society influences learning. Next is the critical literacy, that means helping students analyze texts critically and question social inequalities. And third is that global and media awareness should be known. Teachers should prepare students for a globalized and media-rich world. So, teacher knowledge should not only focus on content and pedagogy but also on social justice, culture, and critical thinking. So, Luke's idea informs that teachers must understand society, culture, and students' backgrounds. Let's go back to the example again. One day, that young teacher notices that some students are shy because they come from different cultural backgrounds. So the young teacher starts using stories, discussions, and examples from their daily lives. Now students participate more actively. So Luke would say here that teachers should help students think critically and understand society, not just memorize information. Now let's understand the viewpoint of next master, Jürgen Habermas. Habermas classified knowledge into three types based on human interests, which can be applied to teacher education. Habermas's type of knowledge are technical knowledge, practical knowledge, and emancipatory knowledge. So far as the technical knowledge is concerned, it is the knowledge used for control and efficiency. For example, in teaching, the methods, techniques, and the instructional strategies come under this type of knowledge. Next is the practical knowledge, the knowledge used for understanding human interactions. In teaching, the communication, interpretation, and classroom relationships come under this type of knowledge. And the emancipatory knowledge is the knowledge that promotes critical reflection and freedom from domination. In education, encouraging students to question injustice and develop critical consciousness comes under this type of knowledge. So teachers should help learners become critical, reflective, and socially aware individuals. Philosopher Jürgen Habermas explained that knowledge can be of three types. So let's not forget the young teacher, the example of the young teacher. Young teacher's teaching now reflects all the three types of knowledge: the technical knowledge, the practical knowledge, and the emancipatory knowledge. She uses teaching methods and strategies, that is technical knowledge. She communicates with the students and understands their feelings, that's the practical knowledge. And she encourages the students to think critically and question injustice, so that is the emancipatory knowledge. So Habermas believed that education should help learners become independent and critical thinkers. So the story of the young teacher teaches us something very important. A good teacher does not rely on one type of knowledge. A teacher must combine the subject knowledge, teaching methods, experience, social understanding, critical thinking. Only then can education truly transform students. So, dear learners, remember, a teacher is not just a person who knows a subject, but a professional who knows how to transform knowledge into learning. So, let's discuss the key contribution of each master. So far as Shulman is concerned, the focus of knowledge base is on types of teacher knowledge, and the key contribution is that he introduced pedagogical content knowledge (PCK). As per Deng, the focus of knowledge base is integration of theory and practice, and key contribution is that he emphasized professional knowledge in teacher education. As per Luke, the focus of knowledge base is social and cultural dimension, and the key contribution is focus on critical literacy and social awareness. And as per Habermas, the focus of knowledge base is types of knowledge, and the key contribution is technical, practical, and emancipatory knowledge. So while concluding, we can say a comprehensive knowledge base requires the integration of pedagogy, professional practice, cultural awareness, and emancipatory thought. Thank you for watching. I hope this video helped you understand the concept clearly. Like the video, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more videos on education, NET, B.Ed, and M.Ed preparation. Thank you.